Alright guys, thanks for watching. This is part 2 of my search for search for sulfur. Part 2 in search of sulfur. Multi-part series. I am picking up right where I left off in the last episode. Yes, we are on a mission. Some would say a fool's errand. Looking for this new block in the sulfur cave. All the new blocks of the new biome. And it's probably going to be a 10-part series if I had to guess. Just adjusting the mic. It's either too hot. Yeah, adjusting the mic. Adjusting the mic. Adjusting the mic. But yeah, I could see this going on for quite some time because why is the music so loud now? Oh, you guys can't even hear it. Yeah, it's going on for quite some time because apparently this new biome, it only will be created in unexplored areas of your world or realm. So that's what we're doing. We're going as far away from my explored areas to hopefully find this mysterious block. Alright, this music, I feel like it's entirely too loud. Yeah, we're gonna turn the music down. It's kind of getting on my nerves. About 30. We'll do 30%. All right. Continuing on our search for sulfur. We just kind of oh yeah. The last episode, which happened such a long time ago. We got blown up by a creeper, and yeah, when exploring this new cave. And really, I'm not even sure if sulfur is around here, but being optimistic, and luckily we have unlimited time to discover this. Unlimited time. All right, I might be in over my head here. Oh wow, oh, netherrack. That must be a. Okay, it's always the skeletons. It's always the skeletons that annoy me. Goodness gracious. Looks like we might catch a break here. Wow. How about that? It's gonna be fun trying to get out of here. See what we got. Yep, alright, I found it. Looks like sulfur to me. Golly. goodness. And it's really a miracle that that creeper didn't blow up all of my armor. All right, heal up, buddy. Is this a dead end? Surely not. Whoa. Oh, I should also probably Google where does sulfur spawn? Like how low? How far into the ground? Searching. I think I might be better off. Oh, that was me, but I think I might be better off just going further out through the nether. But it's always fun to explore new caves. Oh, what if I... Oh, I can't. Yeah, this is very dumb. And I'll tell you why. Oh, actually, that's not that bad. Digging out. Like if I had to dig my way out with these stone. Then it would be... That actually wasn't that slow. Oh, okay, well. Found, what do you call it? Warden's chamber. Yeah, okay. We might have to simply abort this mission. We didn't find any sulfur down here. I think this will get destroyed. Let's see. Oh no, okay. I feel like in the past you couldn't dig this deep slate with a stone pickaxe and actually get anything. Alright, so we're collecting iron in our search for sulfur. Once again, this is a multi-part series in search of sulfur. And I have a YouTube video queued up as well for us to watch today. And oh man, yeah, so it's wasn't really planning this. Normally I'll just do like one stream in a day or one YouTube video, one stream in a day. But I can't give away my strategy. But I thought it was pretty funny that this is gonna be a multi-part series. So I was like, okay, I'll just continue right along into the next video. But I really don't know if I'm making much sense right now. All right, this will get us out of here. Surely. Yeah. Yeah, it'll open up into an enormous cavern. It's just gonna be like episode 2. Still haven't found sulfur. I don't even really care about sulfur. I'm not really sold on this not really sold on this update anyway. But it's kind of funny to like kind of just have a, this will be my focus for the foreseeable future. As well as collecting iron. And if I do run into diamond, then I know I cannot mine that with a stone pickaxe. So we'll need to make a furnace and get some coal. All right, here comes another Minecraft song. Right on time. Oh. I'm guessing this isn't copyrighted. Or it probably is copyrighted, but I don't think I'll get in trouble for having it. It's just part of the game. Oh, glitched. Oh, another strategy, because we've set it up on this realm to where if you die, you get to keep all your stuff. So really the way out of this cave is to just get blown up by a creeper. And then I can instantly teleport back and keep all my stuff. It's pretty nice, pretty convenient. Yep, should be sulfur, should be coming up on sulfur any second now. The good thing is we're getting a lot of iron, which I had run out of. And this is the best case scenario, is what's going on right now. I do wish we had some people in the chat, but that's all right. It's probably just the day of the week, and it's oh, it's actually kind of late. So that's probably what it is. It's definitely not the content like the style of content or anything. Just keep doing exactly what I'm doing. This music is very loud in my head, in my ears. Hopefully it's not loud on the stream. Super loud. And that's a 30%. 30% volume. It's just blaring. But it's either that or dead air. Time where I'm not talking. That's when all these viewers they start getting zoned out. Start tuning me out. Alright, yeah, we are very close to some sulfur, I think. I can almost sense it. It's like a sixth sense. Let's see, do I have wood? Yeah. So I think I might just set up a nice little base in this cave. Maybe for part 3, before I start part 3, I will do a search on Google to see where does sulfur even create? Where does sulfur even get generated? Because I have no clue. This is good. All this iron. Much needed. Alright, I guess we'll queue up this video. And this is one of the guys that did the show Mythbusters. His name is Adam Savage. And I'm not really sure. I guess he's doing his own thing. But it's called Adam Savage's Tested.
Who are you, Marlon?
Hi.
You have come here representing a esoteric craft, a set of esoteric crafts that
traditional hand engraving is even harder than you think.
Do you want to show me what you do?
Yeah, so this is a collection of tools that I use to do traditional hand engraving.
Engraving like watches, rings, important keepsakes?
Engraving is a very primitive thing. It's one of the oldest crafts that I think humans have on record. It's taking a stick and carving rock with a stick. What I do is traditional hand engraving, which means that I'm using simple tools without any electric assist or any kind of technology. It's a sharpened piece of steel on a wood handle, and I hold it with my hand and I push it through metal.
So when I'm looking at like a piece of 16th century armor at the Metropolitan Museum of Art and I'm seeing engraving on there, you're basically using the same tools they were.
Yeah, so the armor in the Renaissance era, 500 years ago, that was the first time that the recent, like what we still use today, gravers, were officially documented as being used to engrave armor.
Oh, they were actually that was the first time we were keeping records about it.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So gravers, the history of it is a little bit muddled as far as exactly when it was invented, but the tool really hasn't changed that much in 500 years.
It's
so
a certain kind of triangle at a certain kind of hardness.
Yeah, exactly. A traditional hand engraver, which means that, again, I don't use any electric assist or pneumatic tools to engrave, which is kind of what hand engraving has turned into today. If you look up hand engraving, it's mostly pneumatic.
Right.
I'm currently, and have been for the last 10 years, the only traditional hand engraver left in San Francisco.
What? No, did you find a mentor, someone to pass on to you their years of knowledge?
I did, yeah. Yeah, part of learning a really old craft like this thoroughly is getting a traditional apprenticeship with a master. And I was lucky enough to actually be lined up to meet the last hand engraver in San Francisco before I became the last engraver. So yeah, I went to a trade school downtown San Francisco in 2013. It's called Revere Academy. And I walked in there at first and they had all these shadow boxes on the walls with all the different things that they were going to teach in the school, and one of them was engraving. And I remember immediately being drawn to that because it's like drawing, but on metal.
Right.
So I have a really long history of doing all kinds of art and crafts and kind of everything. And if you know how to draw any art medium, you can just pick up because you already have the dexterity, right?
Right.
So engraving was immediately the thing that...
It dovetailed with a part of your brain that already existed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just kind of picking.
Okay, but just to dial in here, it's also like, I would imagine, maybe the slowest possible form of drawing.
Yes.
So, and I'm assuming that when modern engraving people are using pneumatics and other things to assist them, it's about being able to generate things faster. But you really prize the hand physical process.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So I went to the school, and about halfway through the program, we did 2 days of engraving, and it was taught sort of correctly, but I really...
You now know what you didn't know.
Yeah, I got immediately hooked, and one of my teachers dared me to engrave a tiger on a pendant, and then the school was like, hey, we have this guy, his name is Harach, and he works right down the street, and he's looking for somebody to train before he retires, and you should go meet him.
Wow.
So I walked down there with my little tiger pendant that I engraved at school,
neat.
and I knocked on his door, and I said, hi, they sent me from Revere, can I hang out? And I hung out with him all day, and he just showed me everything that was in his studio, and his friends were there. And it basically was an immediate hit, and he said, what are you doing tomorrow?
Unbelievable.
And I said, I'm hanging out with you.
I love that you brought him a piece, because I'm sure you know now, like, when I see something someone made and it's within my skill set, I understand so much about them. So you brought that tiger pin not knowing what you represented, but he understood.
I didn't know what I was walking into.
That's incredible.
And like when I went to the school, I was anticipating kind of just becoming a goldsmith.
Right.
And I just found out about the school, and I was 20 years old, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll be a jeweler. That seems like a good medium to get into out of all of the arts, because just the price point for materials made sense.
Yeah.
And again, time. Yeah, and so I trained with Harach side by side in his studio for 2.5 years, and he taught me everything that he could fit in within those 2 years.
That's
before he
incredible.
retired, and then moved to Hawaii
Oh,
and left me in his studio with all of his clients and this big legacy. And so that's where I've been ever since.
what a gift and a
That
burden.
is so cool.
That's really inspiring. He's available for phone calls, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He moved back to Hawaii now, and yeah, so he's not in the Bay anymore, but he's local enough that I can go see him.
Yeah. Well, so walk me through some of the tools of your trade.
Yeah, so this is an engraving block. This is what we use to hold the thing that we're engraving. So it's I think this is maybe a 15-pound
Oh, that's spectacular.
solid block of steel.
I love it.
It's
And it turns easily, so you can keep approaching your work from different angles.
yeah, so it's got a ball bearing in the middle, and then vice straws on top, and it's got a little old school leather base that it sits in.
I love this.
Yeah, so, you know, engraving the thing is one part of it, but holding whatever you're engraving is a whole other element. So within hand engraving, it is called traditional hand engraving, but you also see it be called hand push engraving. And the reason is because the gravers that I use, you technically hold it with your hand and you push the graver, but
Oh, you're not using a little hammer.
No.
You're just pushing with
I'm
your...
pushing it. But the thing is that the graver itself, it pushes
takes
a little
some
bit, but it's actually
strength.
the block that pushes the metal into the tool.
Oh.
So that's why the block rotates.
So you're using its own weighted momentum to help you have leverage on the line you're carving.
Exactly.
I didn't consider
Because
that.
everything is coming from your arm.
I'm confused.
There's no turning. You know, so like this all has to be locked and strong and stable, and this is why we need to be sitting at exactly the right height.
It's so funny. Whenever I am taking in a new skill or something and I'm like, some part of me is tense, I remind myself that anyone who is a master of this craft, and haven't met any of them, but probably sits in a relaxed fashion. So I try and find each time that kind of position that allows my body to do it.
Yeah, posture is usually it's like 90% of the issues that people have when they're learning is like just, hey, sit down an inch lower, get your elbow out a little bit, or stop leaning on your elbow in this way. And yeah, so I was saying to my friend, engraving is, I think, one of the most technical things while also being one of the least technological things that we could do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, so walk me through the process.
All right, so these are the tools that we use. So these are gravers.
Gotcha.
And-
oh, look at them all in cork.
And we are engravers.
I see. I am the tool holder. This is the tool.
Exactly. So these are some of the tools that I use regularly. So I put them in corks for travel. But this is what it is. So I use high-speed steel gravers and wood handles. So within the engraving world, there are different types of gravers that are used. They're just different shapes. Kind of like different paintbrushes have different uses. So if you were trying to make a really wide fan cut or a brush stroke, you would use a wide paintbrush. And then if you were trying to make a very fine hairline, you would use a brush that was a very thin, shape.
So the ends of each of these tools is like the end of a brush, giving you a different shape.
Exactly. So we have, this is called an anglette graver, which has these nice curved edges.
Beauty.
And then this would be a flat graver, where the belly of it, which is the bottom side, is this flat rectangular shape.
Oh, yeah.
And to show you on a bigger scale, we brought the big gravers.
What? What?
These are aluminum. My friend David Thorpe made these a long time ago for Harach to teach classes with.
Wow. So this is just helping people understand the geometry
Yeah, so
that
this
they
is,
can't see.
Exactly. So this is called an anglette graver, which has the nice curved sides on it. This is a flat, which is the nice rectangular.
Makes a nice flat bottom.
Yeah, and then this is a square graver, because if you look at it from the backside, it is a square. So we cut on the corner of it.
And it presents that diamond to the...
Yeah, so there's two main categories of gravers. There's single point gravers, which would just have one single point touching.
Right.
And then a 2-point graver, which I have 2 points. So you can either put it down on the right side or the left side to cut. So this would be the graver that you would use to make really wide, broad cuts, because you can use the entire width. So if you have a flat graver that is really thin, you can only make cuts as wide as the graver.
Right, of course.
And then if you have a big bulldozer flat graver, you can get a really wide cut.
For taking a whole area down if you needed to.
Yeah, so with engraving, there's all.
I think I'm just gonna have to see this in practice, because I'm not really following along super well. Yeah. It's a bit confusing, but it's pretty cool how the whole apprentice story, mentor story, kind of worked out for her.
All different styles. So what I do is mostly surface level engraving, but there's also relief engraving, which would actually be digging down metal to make it more of a three-dimensional height. So
Gotcha.
think like relief engraving, like dies, like for die striking, or coins, like mint, where it's three-dimensional, or family crest rings, where you would stamp it in wax.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So that's
You know
relief
what I could
engraving.
do?
The thing
I'm just
that
gonna get
a lot of
blown up.
people get mixed up in it, they think that
done.
engraving is going to be really deep,
Right.
but it's not. The cuts are just wider. So when it comes to actually using tools like this, you're not gouging out a giant piece of metal with every stroke. It's just you're shaving off just a little bit.
A few thousandths.
Yeah. So with engraving on soft metals like gold, silver, and platinum, or copper like we're going to do, it doesn't take that much.
Right. I actually annealed copper and was using it recently. I was amazed at how soft annealed copper is. It is like leather.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a minute, and
it's
then it
almost a
work
little
hardens.
sticky almost. It kind of gets stuck to the graver
Oh, it's
sometimes.
grippy. It has a fascinating.
Yeah.
So do you? I was reading recently that jewelers have their carpets cleaned by special services that pull out all the gold that they have, the dust that they have created over the last 18 months since their last cleaning. Do you have to do that?
Yeah, well, so yeah, with any craft, all of the scrap material is, of course, precious metal, and you have to collect it all, and then you send it into a refinery. So yeah, some people have carpet, and they'll just cut up the carpet, roll it, and send the whole thing to the refinery. I have a chair mat underneath my chair at work so that I'm not rolling my chair and embedding gold
Right.
into my tiles.
Okay, so can we see some of the products of these beautiful little?
Yeah, so I brought a sample box, and then I brought some actual jobs
Awesome.
from work. So these are some samples of engraving that I have done. These are all kind of patterns that are either really classic traditional patterns like the wheat and some scrolls,
can
and
see a
then also some
tutorial.
patterns that I came up with and just wanted to do. I describe my job kind of like being a tattoo artist.
Right.
So I don't really get to pick what I engrave.
Right.
So if you go to a jewelry store and you pick out a ring and you think, oh, I have this idea, I want leaves engraved on the ring or like a squirrel on my shoulder, like you would tell the tattoo artist what you want and then they would design it and then tattoo it. So engraving is exactly the same, except this is gonna last a lot longer than a tattoo.
And you have, I would assume a client comes to you, you're also allowing them to see what your expertise is and where you have explored.
Yeah.
So that they can say, hey, give me some ideas about where I could go with this.
Yeah, it's a level of trust that was inherited by training with someone like Harach, who had social capital and mastery.
Right.
And when I was training all of his clients, it'd be like a rotating door of everybody in the San Francisco jewelry industry that all knew him. And so they all met me and saw my progress and my skill and everything pick up. So yeah, and it's been 10 years since Harach moved away and retired. And so I've created my own portfolio through just filming and posting videos and photos online. And now I have a sample box.
So I just love this. And I see some things like these where there's letters etched that looks very much like what I think of as engraving.
And I don't use a microscope for any of this. I'm just using my optivisor and some reading glasses, and I just get up in there.
Oh my God, young eyes.
I know, that's one of the reasons Harach retired is because, he had trouble seeing the letters inside of rings.
This is so beautiful.
I did that during my apprenticeship, actually.
Wow. Does this begin with using a compass to kind of divide up your circles so that you have some reference?
Yeah, so all engraving is a 3-step process of drawing the thing that you have in your head or using a reference photo. So, if I was engraving this little catfish,
Right.
I would put the piece of metal in my block and then set it and then take pens and draw on the metal.
Gotcha.
And then take a scribe and gently scribe on, which is basically scratching a line where the ink is, and then I would wipe the ink away, and then I would take the graver and basically start engraving, and the block is turning underneath me, which is very disorienting. So the process of drawing, scribing, and engraving is an editing process of getting ink and then very deliberate scribe lines. Because once you get a graver to it and it's flipping upside down, imagine if you were doing lettering and you're engraving a word upside down.
Right.
And not making a spelling mistake and having all the lines exactly lined up.
Well, okay, so, and that's one of the
tricky.
questions I have is I'm looking at these curves. When you're engraving someone's precious family heirloom, the stakes seem impossibly high.
Yeah, the thing with engraving is that once you make a cut, it's on there.
Right.
And you can't go back and really erase it. There's ways to kind of smudge the metal and burnish it or file the whole thing down if you really mess up, but you have to kind of learn to work with your mistakes.
That would be the hardest part about it.
Gosh.
More tools. All right, so dividers.
Okay, yep.
These are vintage.
Those are your dividers.
Yeah, these are patented in 1885.
Oh.
Patented. I got these on eBay.
Yeah. Oh, they're loved too.
Yeah. I actually had to file the tips of them to get them to be even more precise.
I would imagine.
Because what I really use these for is putting lines. So if you look really closely, there's borders right on the edge.
I know, I see that.
So engraving, I describe engraving kind of like ice skating on tiptoe. As far as like, it's really easy to slip, but it's a balancing act. And you know, moving a graver through metal is all about the angle that you hold the tool at to push it. It's not a matter of like shoving the graver into the metal to keep it there. So doing patterns like this, everyone needs a very thin border to frame the pattern, because some cuts need to rest in that little groove. So I use dividers to make little lines. So you can take them and make the dividers very, very thin.
And make a little, what?
You see how I turned the ring?
I did. You moved the piece, not the tool.
I think I've stabbed myself more on these than gravers. Because yeah, it's really easy to just kind of slip.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, you can't rush. You can't get distracted and impatient.
Is that like etching
You have to
stuff?
take your time. And I think that is really something that people struggle with when they are learning something so complex, is that this is not something that you can learn in a month. This takes years of regular practice and spite to get good at this.
How are these little, so basically it looks like you've ended up with a sort of a repeating ridge all the way around the corners of this.
That is something different. That's called mill grain, and I brought a little mill grain tool. So think of this as kind of like a little pizza cutter wheel, except right at the very tip, there's a little tiny wheel.
A little tiny
on
wheel?
a rivet, and inside the wheel are little concave little divots,
I think we're gonna dig
create
ourselves
little
out of
bumps.
this
So when you
cave
roll
now.
this tool right along the edge of metal, it creates these little bumps.
And,
And they come in different sizes.
This is a...
yeah, we'll probably run into some sulfur on the way out of this cave, if I had to guess. Yeah, I'm not really fully understanding this engraving business. And if the metal, if it's able to be like if an etch, how much strength and like it takes to etch something into that kind of metal. But I feel like there's something I'm missing with it, or maybe you just file it away. Like you have to do it a lot. Like you just have to do it a lot for it to make the etchings, the engravings.
A wheel that is smaller than lint I've pried out of the jack of my phone.
Oh no, here's a really small one. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
So they all have numbers on them. These are made in France. Yeah, I know. And they're really fragile, and I actually have to file right along the edge, which damages the rivet, so I go through these quite often.
Wow. And you're sitting there rolling these along the edge to create that texture.
Yeah. Yeah, mill grain's pretty easy.
Pretty easy. Do you have sometimes, after you've spent hours and hours and hours on the incredibly tiny, have trouble coming back to the full-size world?
Yeah. No, when I was in school, I learned from one of my teachers. Her name was Nancy, maybe it was Roberta. She told me to practice and to constantly flex the muscles in my eyes. So the school that I went to was up on the 9th floor in the Humboldt Bank building, which is right on 4th and Market.
Yeah.
So we were really up in the buildings up there, and she told me, like, whenever you feel that, stop what you're doing, look up, and look out a window, and look as far as you can, and you can feel the muscles in your eyes stretching. And
so you're literally like lifting weights for your ability to focus tightly.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm conditioned to this, but if you're not used to looking at things on a very small scale, and also like having magnification, I don't know, I'm used to it, but it did take some getting used to. And I hear a lot of gemologists that are constantly looking through microscopes because their vision is always getting blurred and focused again.
Right.
It kind of helps your eyes stay not fatigued.
Now you were saying that that engraving is more scratching rather than creating these huge deep divots. But this ring seems to belie that just a little bit. These look incredibly deep. These.
That ring has a story. Yeah, so that is technically relief engraving. So
Gotcha.
the story with that ring is that there was this guy who found me on Instagram and he sent me an email asking to engrave this ring. He was an antique dealer, he wasn't a jeweler. And he sent me a photo of another engraver's work, which was just like this. I don't like copying anybody's work, but there's nothing really original about lettering, so.
Right.
So he sent me this ring, and he said, I want it really deep, I want it gouged out in relief with these numerals. And so I did the job, I did this in, I think, 2016, so 10 years ago. And I sent it off with my invoice. I can't remember how much I charged for it, but probably not enough.
Yeah.
And then a month later, I get it back in the mail with a 2-page handwritten note with him ranting about how much gold I took out because he weighed it, and because of the amount of gold that was now removed from the metal or the ring, he didn't want to pay for the engraving, so he just sent me the ring, which I don't think he got the better deal.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He
wasn't a jeweler. Like it's fine. He didn't.
Clients are clients.
That's right.
It sounds like you. It sounds very clearly to me like you love what you do.
I do.
And that you don't just love the craft of it, but you love what you're imparting to the object for the final wearer.
Yeah, it kind of brings it to life, I think. Like with machining and all the tech that could possibly hold the graver for you and push it, it's like having it done by hand and saying that it's hand engraved means that it has to look like it's done by hands. It's got some wabi-sabi.
Right. A little bit of No, that's why I can't abide CNC lettering.
Yeah.
Lasers, computer controlled milling. It all looks too neat to me, and the world isn't that clean.
Yeah. I think I wanted to tell you about the coolest job that I have done.
Yeah, please.
Which was the indexable clutch for the Wintergarten marble machine.
You worked on that?
Yeah.
I love the Wintergarten marble machine.
Yeah.
I've watched all of his videos.
Okay, the brass clutch that is like the gear shift for the time signature of the entire instrument. Will from Machine Thinking, his YouTube channel, he reached out to me a long time ago, and I just rewatched this YouTube video yesterday of him making it, and he had these little punches with numbers on it because he had to add numbers around the whole piece.
Right.
And there's a scene where he like taps the punches on there, and he goes, "Oh shit!" And then the next scene is like, "Oh, and at this point, I decided to reach out to an engraver, Marlon Hazel, and that project was actually the first piece that I filmed, and that kind of started me filming what I was doing." I engraved numbers all the way around the outside of it. And you look at this piece and it has some life and some breath because I injected life and energy into this thing, and now it's part of this amazing, incredible
That is really
instrument.
cool. And that whole machine is such a triumph over itself, right? It's just such a magnificent, marvelous, weird, strange beast.
Yeah.
I've watched several of those videos more than once just to glory in its complexity.
Yeah, sometimes I get some weird
Getting
requests
close
as
to
far
the
as like
surface.
what I'm actually engraving, but as long as the material is
what
a
I'm
softness, as
talking
long as it's not
about.
steel,
Yeah.
I can do it. So, I knew all about the previous marble machine, so when I got that
Right.
message, I was so stoked.
I really appreciate you taking me on a trip to this. I love the hand-hewn aspect of it.
This
We have
armored
plenty
up
for a video
skeleton.
here, but I'm wondering if we
Yikes.
shoot another video, would you show me how to do some
Yeah,
of
let's
this?
put a graver in your hands.
I just
and-
want just one line. That's all I want.
Finally, that's
Just
what I was
all
Yeah,
can
hoping
get.
for.
I brought some copper and plenty of gravers, so
It's about
yeah,
time.
let's have you try it.
Thank you so much. It's a really, really thrilling and beautiful craft, Marlon.
Thank you.
Also, sorry, we will include the link in the description to Marlon's wonderful YouTube channel. We'll see you guys next time.
What? Oh, I have to watch another video
You're still
to see
here.
him test it
Great.
out.
I want to tell you about some of the stuff we've got for sale at adamsavage.com, including
What the? So I gotta watch another video to see how it's done.
Let's put a graver in your hands.
I just
and-
want to, just one line. That's all I want. That's probably all I
Yeah,
can get.
I brought some copper and plenty of gravers. So yeah, let's have you try
Oh,
it.
maybe it's
so
a part.
much. This is
Okay, so maybe that's a part 2 on there. But her name is Marlon Hazel, and does hand engraving. Just thought it might be a interesting video. Yeah, I thought that might be interesting. Interesting. All right, we got out of this cave safely. All right. And now I gotta figure out what I'm willing to leave behind. 6 packed ice. Taking that. I definitely don't need. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure I fully understood how hand engraving works, but it was interesting nonetheless. Yeah, really, the main takeaway was the story about the apprenticeship she did, and how I guess no one else in San Francisco is doing that form of engraving, where you do it by hand. So that was really cool. She kind of took over his business. I feel like there is probably a lot of money in that job. Probably pretty lucrative business. All right, we are still looking for copper. Back to the mission. And that cave did not see any sulfur in that cave, but that's all right. I think we will try to go back to the Nether, and we will continue on our journey. Also about the engraving, it's like there's not much room for error. Like if you mess up. So that'd be pretty tough. And I think she said that they are able to kind of like mark it with ink. I think I heard her say that. But even then, like, kind of only had one shot to get it right. I think I still have some gold armor. Surely. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh. Let's see, what could we make? How about some boots? Gotta keep pressing forward. I think we'll offload some of this stuff. So fun. It's pretty funny this sword has lasted so long, but it's just been at like 0 bars for so long. Alrighty then. Pressing on. Oh, of course I just forgot one thing. I can't mess up while I'm streaming. Can't be doing this. It's getting too boring. Not really boring for me, but I am keeping the audience in mind when I'm having to backtrack. So sketchy. Yeah, this goes pretty good ways. I think we'll try to get across. Oh wait, but all these skeletons. Yeah, they could shoot me off of this high ground here. And then, oh man, yeah, that's gonna be a bit of an obstacle. They're already coming towards me. Yes. Oh no. See, I don't think I should build my nether portal just yet. But I'm gonna have to get across this. That's what I could do. Yeah, that's tough. I'm curious about what these blocks are. Alright, maybe we kill this last skeleton, and we will hope for the best. Oh, there's another one. Come on. Alright. I guess the ice highway could take a turn. Is that one of those? I don't know. It's just quartz. Nether quartz. Can't say that freaking word. All right. Well, that just might have to conclude part 2 of searching for sulfur. In search of sulfur. A multi-part series. And we haven't found it yet, but stay tuned. Thanks for watching.